Yo, yo, yo. Isn't that what you kids say today? I was fishing yesterday, and three 9-year-olds came up to me, asking if I was catching anything. I answered them quietly. They didn't hear me. Then they started screaming, yo, yo, yo at me. So I figured you kids might appreciate that. This is Jewish, Asian, and Pacific Island Wrestlers You Should Know, sponsored by Premier Pro Wrestling. I am Randy Ritchie, and I'm here to remind you Michael Jordan didn't just know who basketball players were. Michael Jordan didn't just watch tape. Michael Jordan studied tape. Iron Mike Tyson, did not just watch video, did not just watch tape. He studied the greats and said, to be great, you must study the greats. So, in any other industry, the business world, it's called activity knowledge. The person with the most activity knowledge has the upper hand. World Wrestling Entertainment is looking for nothing more than technically sound. Technically sound. So that being said, now that I'm off of my soapbox, I want to talk about a Jewish wrestler that I didn't even know of. I've heard this name, but I never paid much attention to it or even looked into it. But a famous and a big drawing Jewish wrestler was Rafeal Halperin. This guy started wrestling in Australia, and he's just got the whole thing down, man. He worked with Toots Monts, Vince McMahon Sr., you know what I mean? I don't know if he ever ended up becoming a American citizen, but I think he must have. But the coolest thing about this guy is the guy drew a shitload of money, They say he was difficult to work with because he was a stubborn SOB. Well, then why did they keep booking him? Because he was an undeniable draw. Apparently, he sold out Madison Square Garden on more than one occasion in the main events. CM Punk, who you kids love, then you hate him, and now you're starting to love him again, says that they're all assholes, but when you get over, they're your assholes. And it looks to me like Rafeal Halperin figured that out, and that's the way he handled his business. After retiring from wrestling, Halperin fulfilled his dream of opening a chain of gyms. Okay, this was in Israel, because that's where he was from. He was born in Australia, but he is Israeli. He's a Jewish guy. He went on to earn a rabbi degree and wrote several religious books, as well as an encyclopedia and a weight loss guide. Well, when he was a younger guy, he was an athlete. And that being said, he did do a lot for sports in general in Israel, including and not limited to helping start the first bodybuilding federation, and also he put karate on the map in Israel as well. And this opened the door for him, we'll get to it at some point, how over world-class championship wrestling was out of Dallas, the Sportatorium, the Von Erich family in Israel. We'll get to that because it's such big news. Now what I'd like to talk about is everybody knows he's Asian. He is the epitome of a Japanese superstar, Jushin Thunder Liger. And let me tell you, when I broke into the business my third or fourth match, or within my third or fourth match, within the first 6 matches, I was booked on a show for a Chicago promotion at Da Vinci Manor. At the time, I want to say it was Meltzer who had brought his fan convention to Chicago, and this was not planned. As a matter of fact, these guys forgot about it, but I was wrestling a couple of guys who forgot I was supposed to hit them off the top turnbuckle on the outside with the crossbody, which was not being done before. Well, when this happened, and they forgot about it, I had to go. I was up there for only so long. I didn't want to look stupid in front of those harsh-ass critics, and when I hit them and they didn't expect it, we fell right into the 4 or 5 rows that was the fan convention, and they friggin' loved it because they thought I did it on purpose. Where that garnered me was before there was YouTube, and these videos were very hard to get. Dr. Lucha, Steven Sims, would send me on a monthly basis to televisions from Japan and from Mexico. CMLL, Triple A, and I want to say at the time it was All Japan, specifically Liger matches is what I watched at the time. So I would go ahead and take these Liger spots and do them, and people thought I was a damn genius. But the truth was, they'd never seen it before because it was being done in Japan. So I will always owe Liger for that. Here's this backstory on Liger that you may not know. And I knew that he had cancer, and I'm going to be learning this the same time you do, how bad it was when he started, because let's be honest with you, he never should have been the superstar. But God bless, man. It shows you about faith and drive. He applied to the New Japan Dojo after graduating school in the early 80s, where he'd been an amateur wrestler. The dojo turned him away as he was too short for the dojo at the time. He headed to Mexico to train, where he faced hardship and near starvation, leading New Japan to take pity on him and invite him back to the dojo, where he graduated alongside Muda, Hashimoto, and Masachono. Isn't that friggin' something, guys? I mean, right there. We're the indies. We don't like the bumps. We like the high spots. You better earn your right on the card if you want to be great. And Liger just showed you right there what he's made of. When he debuted, he wrestled under his real name. He won the second Young Lion Cup after being defeated in the finals of the first one. New Japan Pro Wrestling quickly pimped their new young buck around the world, sending him to England's All-Star Wrestling for a brief tours in Calgary, where he also continued his training. Now, this man had been in the industry, trained in Mexico, trained in Japan. When he went to Calgary, he continued his training because he knew he could learn the different style under Stu Hart. So, Indians, they think that you have it down and you're some sort of indie veteran. Kiss my mother effing ass. It's just like any other industry. In what world do you have your industry dicked? Why do you think they have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and different variations of degrees? Upon his return from his Calgary tour in '89, New Japan gave Yamada, that's Liger, the gimmick that would make him instantly recognizable icon for the rest of eternity. Jushin Liger was an immensely popular anime series that had debuted on Japanese television earlier in the year. New Japan had previously had the idea to bring an anime character to life in the form of Tiger Mask, whose feuds over the years with various black tigers have captivated audiences for almost 30 years. So they reviewed their young rising star as the perfect man to fill the role. And listen to this. This is what the gimmick is, and I don't think I've ever heard it defined this perfectly. Metal Robot Demon Armor Man. You know? And that gear was just unbelievable, and the fact that he could work in it is even more amazing. Liger, before getting the mask, had developed a new spectacular move based off the manga Fist of the North Star called the Shooting Star Press. While spectacular, it is banned by WWE for a majority of performers, except perhaps that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, man, Liger incepted that shit, and you never know where the ideas are going to come from, man. Just unbelievable to me. He did have some time at WCW. I think it was a year. Him and Brian Pillman worked like mother effers, you know what I mean? And it goes on to talk about that crap. You know, when you mess with Vince Russo, blah, blah, blah. But I want to get to is the brain cancer, man. You know, I want to see what the hell happened. I want to see how the hell he dealt with that. Liger had a brain tumor removed back in 1996. This is in the peak of his career, guys, his money-making years. The first 10 years are to learn the industry. The second 10 years are to make as much money as you can while you're young, healthy, and in your athletic and growth peak. His doctors told him he would never wrestle again. And there he was at 22 years old, still working for New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is a man to be admired. This is a man to be revered. A man that is also a WWE Hall of Famer. Instead of sitting there with your secret names, hating on your indie buddies while you guys take over the world, selling tickets to friends and family every month to 100 people at a time, why don't you learn the craft and learn from the guys that came before you? And I'm talking about, these idiots like the Hangman. Why is this guy called the Hangman? I don't see the Hangman. He doesn't come out with anything. Does he do a move that has anything to do with a hangman? Where's the noose? The noose. Yeah, to be good, to be great, you must study the greats. You must listen to the greats. If you have this stuff at your what's the word I'm looking for? Disposal, man. Use it. All right. This is me up on the soapbox. Jewish, Asian, Pacific wrestlers, you should know, have the decency to like and subscribe because we're bringing this to you without commercials. I'm going to go ahead and post both men's Wikipedia links in the description. Also in the description, you can see where you can help support Premier Pro Wrestling. I'm Randy Ritchie. We'll talk tomorrow.